Hi there, and welcome back to the Retirement Pivot. I'm Kat Kelly, and welcome to 2026. Can't believe it's 2026. We talk all things retirement here at the Retirement Pivot, and I was kind of thinking about what I wanted 2026 to look like with respect to the kinds of things, goals that I have for this channel and for my time that I spend doing the channel. And so I've kind of formulated this kind of slow roll approach to 2026 where I'm just kind of peeking around the corners a little bit. I feel like the bigger world is a little crazy right now. And so I'm really making sense out of all the parts of my world. And so I invite you along for the journey. There may be nobody on the journey, but it's a journey nonetheless. And so I want to talk about things like following your bliss, working at will, because in retirement these days, I'm 60. I'll be 61 in April. I retired at 59. For background, I was a public school teacher for 37 years, a couple of years in Florida, 30 years in New York, and I retired from New York and moved back down to Florida, so I live in Orlando. And I want to talk, where I live is something I want to talk about. It's a very purposeful place. I have my sister and I, and really my family, but mostly my sister and I, have built a house that is really two houses together. One for my sister and I. We're both single, no kids, so we're easy. And the other part of the house is for my parents, who are 80. My mom will be 84 next month. My dad will be 87 in April, so they're 83 and 86, and very independent and capable and creative and all those things, but nice to have right near us. So I'm going to do a little spotlight on that today. Intergenerational living with purpose is really kind of how we've approached it, and I'll tell you a little background about that. I want to talk about following my bliss. My bliss has to do with friendships. It has to do with travel. It has to do with just seeing new things and my own curiosity about things. I'm going to be diving back into my art, back into my art studio. My last video was cleaning up my art studio. I hope you enjoyed that. If you didn't, then connect to that video in my video list, I guess, whatever. And it's kind of fun to watch. I love a fast forward video of people getting organized. So maybe it'll motivate you if you need that. And so that's one of the things. I'm getting back into my video. I'm finding into my art. I'm finding my abstract voice this year. I've focused a lot in the past on acrylic painting mostly, and painting florals, botanicals, some landscapes, and I really want to focus on maybe more abstract ideas and maybe even some figures, but I don't know. That may be for next year. So that's what I'm working on with that. Through acrylics, I love the jelly printmaking, collage work, different kinds of multimedia. So that's my art will be something that I'll focus on this year. I finally realized a healthy way to look at being an at-will employee. Florida has a lot of at-will employees, which just means you can get fired easily. You don't have the protections that we had in New York. But now I'm an at-will employee at my own will. So I work when I want, and I don't work when I don't want. I do a little Uber Eats delivery. I'm a nanny, very, very part-time for a couple of sweet, sweet girls in the neighborhood. Really a driver. I pick them up and drop them off to different things. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that. I have talked about that in the past as well. And I'm kind of in the try it all, see what sticks phase of my retirement. And so I've been playing Mahjong, again, doing my artwork. Friday, I'm going to see the manatees with my niece, Hillary. We're going to, I think it's called the Park After Dark at Blue Springs State Park next Friday to see the manatees at night. And it's going to be cold, so they're going to be there. We're very excited about that. And so I guess I want to focus this week just on giving that background and talking about intergenerational living with a purpose or on purpose. In 2019, my housemate in New York, who's like my best friend, she's like a sister, her name's Randy. She and I we're talking about retirement. She was retiring at the same time I was. Her parents moved down to Tampa, so she was thinking about maybe being in the Orlando area. She's like a sister, so she's very close with my family. And so we were talking about, well, let's see what kind of, my family really wanted to live intergenerationally as my parents aged. And we wanted to design a place or buy a place, if possible, for aging in place where we can grow old. I have two sisters and a brother. My brother has a wife and three kids, and they live in College Park. They're not even a mile from me right now. And they've lived here for, I think, over 20 years. So College Park is a part of Orlando that's very close to downtown. I can be in downtown in 5 minutes. Um, and it's sort of ex-urban in that it's like the very outer edge of the urban area. So we have some urban, we were able to find this property because it's on the very edge of College Park. I like to call it the ass corner of College Park. And we butt up right against industrial. We're near the packing district. We have a train that goes by across the street, but it's a very slow train. It just comes like once or twice a day, and it like drops off and picks up down a ways, so we don't hear all that stuff. But it's not a bullet train or anything like that. So we love the train. And so we were able to find this half acre on a corner that we wanted to kind of build a compound on, and we've kind of done that. So we bought it in 2019. We were able to get in before the prices went sky high in College Park. I think we bought a half acre for under $200,000. Had a little shack on it that had to go. It was derelict. So we took the shack down immediately, and then it just remained fenced and with beautiful greenery, and we took care of it, obviously, for a couple of years. And then in 2021, we divided it so that Randy would have her piece, a part of the lot. It's 3.5 lots. So she has one of the lots because she was going to build a smaller house. And then we have we have a third of an acre. And so I designed a house that is really two houses combined. And I'll show you, I don't know how this gimbal will work, but that swinging door goes over to my parents' casita, and I'll show you a little bit about that in a little while. But we were able to design a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. Each of the bedrooms has its own walk-in closet and its own ensuite bathroom, so that it's designed for adults, basically. We have a den across from, we designed our guest room in the 3-bedroom house is ADA designed. It's larger so that if someone's in a wheelchair or has access problems, we save that room for anyone in our family who just gets to a place where they just need more space. And the bathroom is very ADA designed, lots of railings. It has the toilet has the bar that comes down. It has a handlebar on the wall. The shower is totally ADA designed. So a guest room is there and ready for whoever might need it, whether it's one of my parents or one of us or a friend who had surgery, whatever. It's nice to have that there, and a privilege, frankly. The 3-bedroom house is the sort of main house, I call it. It's a big gathering space. We have a big 11-foot dining room table, a big 9-foot island behind us, large kitchen with a big pantry. We have the garage is off of our area. Through the swinging door to my parents' house, that's like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We call it the casita. They have their own entrance, their own parking, little driveway, single car driveway with a walk down to it. They have an entrance to the backyard through the gate there, so my mom can get to her vegetable gardens. We have, let me see if I can, how am I going to do this? That's the courtyard, and you can see across the pool way is their living room. And then Randy's house is going to be over in that space where you can see some bricks and stuff now. And then this is maybe I can do this. This is our living room sort of to the patio and to Randy's house. Her house will be on the pool. She has a lanai. That's our front door with 3 of the bedrooms are off there and the den is off there. And then the kitchen is here. And that's the door to my parents' casita. That worked pretty well. Of course, this isn't going to work very well. All right, let's see if that works. Okay. And so this was the design. And we moved in Halloween weekend 2022. So we've been here 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. And are loving it. And it's been so nice to have my parents right here. They're very, independent, like I said, and have their own lives and do their own thing. But we are here. And we've had need to be here once or twice with a sickness or a fall or, those kinds of things. We share a dog. He's over here laying down. He's the sweetest dog ever, Buddy. And it's been really, just really nice living on our compound. Our last name is Kelly, and we jokingly call it Kelly Bunkport. And so living here has been a privilege, admittedly. We saved very hard for this. My sisters are teachers. The goal is that as we age, as my parents age, if they need to move into the ADA, they have a bedroom and an office, really, is how they use their space. They have their own kitchen and stuff like that, living room. As we age, if we lose when we lose one of our parents, the other parent, depending on what their needs are, could move into the ADA suite. And then my other sister, Dee Dee, might move in to the back space. Eventually, it will hopefully be the three of us in the front house. And as we age, we can have a caretaker live in the casita and care for us and live, have a place to live and be around and whatever. So it's sort of the goal of the Aging in Place is to stay in your house as long as you can. It's why I volunteer for Neighbors Network, which is an organization designed, it was actually started by my mom, designed to help people stay in their house as long as they can. So I do a lot of volunteering for others who are further into their aging in place needs than I am, with the hope that when I get there, there'll be people there to help me. But anyway, this space has been just remarkable in that we've had all of our family gatherings. And my brother and sister-in-law are so flexible and kind that they have a wonderful house where we love to celebrate as well. And we do have celebrations there, but it's so much easier to have my parents here and not have to travel to go somewhere. And Patrick, we had just had a gathering the other night because Liam went back to, my nephew is in the Coast Guard, and he went back to duty in Hawaii. So we had a barbecue. And my parents were kind of getting up after the barbecue and heading over to the casita. And my brother was like, "Hey, you need a ride?" So kind of reflecting how nice it is to have designed and be able to live on purpose in a space that we saved for. And it's very expensive. I mean, I do still work in retirement because the house is expensive. Our taxes are ridiculous. I do believe in paying taxes, and I think taxes are important to support communities, but holy smokes. So anyway, that's a little glimpse into, I can give more details and maybe do a tour or something like that in the future. Maybe I'll do a photo tour of the different areas. It's 5 bedrooms, 5 baths is sort of the whole space. It's 4,500 square feet, including the lanais and the garage. My art studio is in the garage. Here's Buddy. You see Buddy? You see everybody? Say hello. That's a sweet dog. And so anyway, I want to sign off now that Buddy's wanting something. He probably wants breakfast. I want to sign off and just say, designing your retirement is important. Live on purpose. Some of us have to work sometimes, and that's okay. I'm privileged and I recognize it, but I also worked hard for those privileges, for the pension that I have, and for the, ability to live in a safe space in a nice, beautiful area. And so I say, just kind of take your time and live on purpose and see what kinds of bliss that you can find in your daily life. You're so sweet. In your daily life, and find it and go get it and pivot to those things that make you happy. All right. See you next week.